Do you want to, in general, broad terms, do you want to talk about the way that you used to eat before we got together?
No, I would not like to do that, in fact. Spam slices. Is there any raw meat?
There's only one way to find out.
Should I touch this?
So, I'm going to give you some hints because there's no way in hell you're going to guess what this is. I chose this recipe because a lot of the ingredients are very similar to things that you would have put together before we started this and before you met me.
Mm-hmm.
As just like weird, disgusting snacks, but this puts them together in a delicious way.
Lovely.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got rice cakes, we've got Spam, we've got chili powder, we've got Spam, hot dogs, kimchi, anchovies, beans, pork?
Yeah, that's pork. Ground pork.
More wet meat.
Your favorite.
Meat. Dashi.
Kombu. Seaweed.
Gochujang. Ramen. I guess like this, we're making some kind of ramen dish, obviously.
Do you have
Or
any
like
guesses?
maybe something that's like a deconstructed ramen. I don't have any ideas though.
This is Anthony Bourdain's Budae Jjigae, which I'm sure I horribly mispronounced, which is he calls Korean army stew.
Nice. Okay, this seems relatively normal. This is the first time I've ever said this about a recipe. Just like, it's normal.
Yeah, I didn't want it. This one isn't particularly hard. I
That's
just
good.
wanted to give you something that I knew you would absolutely love the vibe of, that you've never remotely had.
No, this is the vibes on this are good for once. I fully believe in the vibes on this one.
So how confident are you feeling right now?
Like a 10 out of 10. Let's say that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the first time in history. Maybe. So, one dried shiitake mushroom.
Those are small, so I put a few in there.
Should I use all of them?
Sure.
Nice. 4 dried shiitake mushroom, but tiny. 4 anchovies. So I guess I should probably rinse these.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna smell disgusting, babe. I can't believe you put the oil into our food trash.
That's what we do.
Anchovy oil?
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Okay.
Okay, you can do that over the sink.
Just trying to separate them a little. So they can clean all the way. They don't want to be separated. They're very tiny.
They're bros.
Yes. Anchovies.
Anchovies.
Anchovies. I love doing this with 2 cameras now. Makes me feel important.
You are important. Important to me.
So there are like probably a bit more than 8 of these, but I don't care. I'm putting them all in.
Just extra fishy.
Yeah, super fishy. Super fish, super fish, super fishy. Ow.
Wow, okay.
This is really more of a bundle. So I've got to extricate the one sheet. Okay. 1 sheet seaweed.
What are you doing?
It's the only way to get the salt out, man. Get stuck. Okay. Salt. Gonna bring this to a boil.
So, these are actually some of your favorite foods things, aren't they?
Yes. I am a huge fan of Spam.
And hot dogs.
Yes.
And instant ramen.
Yes. All of these things.
What is it that you like about Spam?
It's just delicious, man.
Like
Nothing
what?
wrong with that.
Can you describe what makes it so delicious?
It's just delicious. It's salty, it's meat, it's good.
For a second I thought you meant it's salty and sweet, but then I realized, no, you really just meant that it's salty and it's meat.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us some of the things that you've made for yourself with some of these ingredients in the past?
Just, normally just toss that in a frying pan, heat it up a bit, and eat it. That's really all that I would do.
I wouldn't say normally. There's also the times when you basically just eat it out of the can with a spoon or a fork.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
What about with hot dogs?
We're not going to talk about that. I used to do a thing sometimes where I would just toss random stuff into ramen based on whatever I had in the fridge. The infamous event was that I put a bunch of cold hot dogs into some ramen along with some avocado, and I ate it.
Yes.
That's it. It's very sad.
I mean, there's nothing really that wrong with it, because at the time, you were mostly just interested in, like, calories per dollar, right?
Yeah, I was just eating, man. But it's enough. Okay. Kimchi.
So what are you doing over there?
She's just looking at me. So 8 ounces of sliced rice cakes. Does that mean I need to slice them further, or is
No,
this like
they're
sliced
sliced.
already? Can I like eat this?
It's raw.
Right, this is weird.
I didn't say it was weird, I said it was raw.
Yeah. I agree, it's weird. Can I add like more of these in if I want?
Yeah. This is your stew.
I am a fan of the sliced rice cake.
You seem very excited about this recipe.
I am, it's good. It looks good. Confidence is high for once.
Do you think if this turns out well, you'll make it again?
I don't know, because I feel like I probably wouldn't have the patience to get this far.
This far, you mean putting some fish in some water and peeling an onion?
Yes. Broth is good. It's coming to a boil, so I'm just stirring it a bit and reducing the heat to a simmer. Onion. Forgot that I was doing onion already.
Yes. So do you want to tell people your favorite quick ramen snack?
Oh, just eating the ramen noodles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. It's fine, it's crunchy. It's like eating like chips. It's delicious. I don't know. I think I probably messed up however I was supposed to be chopping these. It's fine.
I mean, it's just for a stew. It's whatever size you feel, I guess.
Too scallion. See, now the onion is coming to haunt me.
The cool thing about this soup is that it's not like some of the stuff we've made, like the French stew that you constantly correct my pronunciation of, is kind of expensive to make. But this really isn't.
No. Probably not.
Do you remember the great conversation we had after you and I first moved in together, where you said that you couldn't understand why the food that I cooked was so expensive?
Yeah.
And you were like, why do you make pad see ew when you could just make like pork and broccoli and rice? And I was like, the only 2 ingredients that you didn't name that go into pad see ew are soy sauce and eggs, which are very cheap.
Yes.
It took you a while, but you finally learned that flavor does not have to be expensive.
Okay, I'm gonna put these in actually with the onions. So that'll save us a bowl.
The little allium bowl.
Next is garlic cloves.
Is the garlic getting to you?
I don't know, man. That or something else is hanging in the air.
I've never heard of a garlic grinder. Should we open a window?
It's gonna help. Are we filming?
Yes, we've been filming this whole time.
Just checking. So it says I'm gonna peel and crush these.
But you can crush and then peel them.
Yeah. Just gonna make the peeling easier.
Would you like to know what Anthony Bourdain said about this recipe?
Sure.
He said, this is known as Korean Army stew, created, according to legend, from scrounged Army PX canned goods during wartime. It captures the essence of great cooking over the last few centuries, improvisational, born of war and hardship, nostalgic, sentimental, and transformative.
Nice.
I applied for a job in Copenhagen when we were living in Seattle, and neither of us knew anything about Copenhagen. So the first thing that we did was watch an episode of Parts Unknown about Copenhagen. And then we were like, we could live there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did.
Yep. 3 hot dogs, thinly sliced. I'm gonna use all the hot dogs because these are tiny hot dogs.
They're regular hot dogs. They just aren't the normal double-sized hot dogs that we get.
Oh, these are not normal hot dogs.
Those are incredibly, they're the exact
This
size
is not
of
a
a bun.
normal hot dog.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's the size of a bun.
I disagree. Maybe a British bun.
British buns are the same size as American buns.
No, they're not. Alright, so this is a situation in which I actually need 2 oven mitts. I will use both the old one and the new one. See?
I should have gotten the second new one.
I mean, I would still just use one of the old one and one of the new ones.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Just eating the boiled anchovies. Chef's treat.
It says place all of these things in small separate piles in this large pot. I don't know if I really can do that. Alright, so I tried to get them into different piles best I could, but it's all sort of,
Yeah.
a little mixed up anyway. Okay, I'm gonna use this. It's 3/4 of this. See, that's like barely any at all. I'm just gonna use a whole. There. a bit more than called for, but not a ton. Just see, like, we've got all these beans that I'm gonna end up eating later.
That's your dessert. Or your appetizer, I guess. Just eating room temp baked beans out of the can.
Oh, good. And 1.5 more cups of water. Bring to a steady simmer over high heat. Stirring occasionally with a wooden spoon. Well, you know, it's all gonna get mixed together anyway, I guess. So, we've got like 1.5 minutes left on the soup cooking. It's got a nice bubble to it. Everything is well cooked together. I think the sauce is like thickening a little.
Nice.
So all in all, everything seems to be going good. Got just one step left, which is adding the ramen noodles. So I'm excited to see how I can mess this up. Did I ever tell you the other thing about how I make ramen?
No.
Even when I don't just eat the ramen noodles dry, I like to like crunch it up in the package before I cook it. Because then you don't have to worry about like the ramen noodles actually being intact and like long and like hard to eat. You can just like...
No, but intact noodles is like the nicest thing when you sort of twirl them.
Yeah, I hate it.
Are you gonna do that?
No, not, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Okay.
I see your face over there.
I'm just the silent observer
Oh man.
witnessing. What?
This is a very beautiful block of ramen noodles, like very perfectly round.
Oh
I
wow.
ruined it a little. But like, look at that bad boy. It's just very round. Just a round boy. Okay, well, I'm not supposed to like stir. I'm supposed to like put stuff on top of it so that it starts to get the broth, I guess, and starts to cook through. Realize it's quite easier to just use the, yeah, that's that good stuff. Says continue to cook for a few more minutes until the noodles are cooked through.
I'm surprised that you insisted on adding more of every other ingredient except the ramen noodles.
I mean, ramen noodles are just like the base, you know? Like the other stuff is what makes it exciting. Like if I was offered a choice between like a ramen noodle packet that contained extra ramen noodles or like extra like seasoning packet, I would absolutely go for the seasoning packet.
You would go for the seasoning packet?
Yeah. You know, like make more strong.
Oh, I know. There's already too much seasoning packet. Like, you shouldn't even use the seasoning packet when you're making ramen anyway.
That's a really bold statement. Okay, so we've got our big old pot of soup. Looks really delicious, smells really delicious. I am now going to plate, okay. Let's try that again. Okay. Now I'm gonna bowl some ramen noodles and make sure that I get some Spam. Make sure that I get some rice bits. It's a bit messy, I'll admit that much. I'm trying to serve it. This is why I like to break up the noodles when I make my own ramen. Budae Jjigae.
Okay, why don't you get a fork and a spoon for that bad boy and...
Okay. I think I'm gonna start off trying some of the meats. Real good. You know, essentially a hot dog, but, you know, spicy hot dog.
You're like rubbing your belly.
Okay, that's really good Spam too.
Try to get a little perfect bite.
Of what?
Something with like a little piece of little piece of Spam, a little piece of hot dog, some rice cake, some kimchi.
There's too many things to try and perfect bite
Okay.
this, unfortunately.
Well, at least more than one thing at once.
Okay, several things.
Okay.
Ideal, somewhere near optimal spoon.
Okay.
It's nice and spicy. It's not like overpoweringly spicy. It's very rich. It's very warm. It's very delicious. Yeah, this is just all around a really good soup.
Where would you rank it among the things that you've made?
Oh, like number one. This is the best thing.
As the most delicious?
Yes, 100%.
Return on investment?
Probably also up there. I mean, we've made quick things, but you know, this is real good for what it is.
Would you make it again?
Probably, actually. I mean, again, like I would probably like eat all of the individual ingredients before I like actually finished it, but
you wouldn't finish all of the ingredients. You would just also eat the ingredients while you were cooking.
well, I don't know, maybe. I feel like also like I would probably add all the beans next time.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
say.
think there's anything against adding all the beans.
I was gonna say if you could change, like, what chips do you have for the people at home?
Yeah, I would just add all the beans, like just all of them. I'm sad that there aren't any beans in this, but again, I guess this probably just depends on me and my preferences. Like, I assume you could like, oh, you know what? We entirely forgot the pork.
We did.
We forgot the pork.
The
We
minced
did
pork.
everything except the pork. Okay, that's sad.
Do you think you can do it without the pork? Do you think it's good if you don't have
I mean, I
access
think
to
it's
pork?
delicious the way it is. I don't think it needs the pork.
So you're saying this is a pretty flexible recipe?
Yeah, I think you could like mess with the meat content a bit. Like, you could probably add some more like things if you wanted.
Seems good if you've got like leftovers.
Yeah, this is definitely like a flexible recipe that is okay with the fact that I entirely forgot that pork exists.
Well, thank God you have those other two kinds of pork in there as well.
Oh, okay. So maybe not like entirely forget that pork exists, but like,
The minced pork.
yeah. I did forget one of the meats.
Okay.
Alright everybody, I am Adam, this is Himbo Chef. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell us what you want to see in future videos. Try this recipe at home, let me know how it goes. I'm actually really excited about this one, more so than most other recipes. So this one, I'm telling you, please make this at home and tell me what you think about this. Yeah, I think that's it.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Subscribe to our Patreon that doesn't quite exist yet. We're gonna get there.
Cool. Alright. See you next week.
Alright, bye.